is to mitigate the effects of the Vietnam War that are still being felt today. As Mr. Holliday has already said, the Vietnam War ended in 1975. However, the bombs are still going off and people are still dying. So it's something to think about. 15.35 million tons of munition were dropped on the country of Vietnam, contaminating 20% of the landmass. The red area behind me is all the contaminated area. If all of that was put next to each other, it would have the equivalent area of 12,500,000 football fields. The region right here is Quang Tri Province. 83.3% of Quang Tri Province is contaminated with unexploded ordnances. There have been over 8,000 injuries and over 3,000 deaths in this province alone, and those numbers are only growing. 31% of the victims are children. They unknowingly stumble across a bomb, start playing with it or something, and then get injured or even killed. What is even sadder is that many of the victims are actually aware of the dangers of the bombs. They go out looking for the bombs as a way of collecting scrap metal so that they can provide for their families. In the picture here, this boy has been sent out by his family. He has a metal detector and he's going to dig up bombs. If this boy can find a 500-pound bomb, then he can bring home a 3-year salary to his family. These people risk their lives to better the livelihood of their families. Even a bomb the size of a pen has the power to injure or even kill. This is so small, it would be very difficult to find in a forest. Other bombs, as you can see, are very well camouflaged. If you are out clearing land, working with your livestock, it will be difficult to spot. This is a 3-foot bomb that was dug up from underneath the ground. As these bombs are dropped, if they don't explode right away, they come down with such force that they bury themselves into the ground and are virtually forgotten until they explode.
So Project Renew is a very unique non-governmental organization because it is mostly run by the Vietnamese themselves. The U.S. is mostly just a monetary supporter of their future, as you can. The overall goal is to clear all of Vietnam of the contamination of UXOs. However, that's a lot more difficult than it sounds due to the weather in Vietnam. A lot of flooding causes plots of land that have already been cleared to be free of UXOs to be re-contaminated as the water floods. The shifting of terrains causes the bombs to move around and you are unaware of where they are anymore. In 2010, the Vietnamese launched a program to clear 1.35 million, 13.1 million hectares, that's 100 acres land by 2025. That's an incredible goal and they're really invested in their future. So far, 16,000 UXOs have been cleared and 600,000 square miles of land has been cleared for development for like schools and businesses and homes. In one instance, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund sponsored a Major League Baseball player from Cincinnati to go to Vietnam and teach high school students to play baseball. In doing this, they cleared the playground and made not a major league, a little league baseball field there. And in doing that, they found 17 UXOs under the playground. All these kids, they were going out and they were playing. It was a K-12 school. They were playing and they were on top of 17 UXOs. There had been no casualties yet, but it was only a matter of time until one of those exploded and caused an injury or even a death. As you can see, it's very, very close to the school. This is the baseball field that they created, and that's the school. It's so close. Can you even imagine?
Our goals are to establish a database to support the clearance of the UXOs, and we want to have a landmine impact survey so we know where each and every bomb is, and we really strongly suggest people to report any sightings of any landmines that they see. And mainly we want to spread awareness to people so they know what's going on in their area. As you can see here, this is a slide about mine risk education. There's a young girl painting pictures about the bombs that are in her area, and it's common in schools for you to see things like this, see young children painting and learning about the problems that are at hand through artwork. Here's a presentation at a Vietnamese school to younger children, once again, to make them aware about what's happening in their area. And I think that that's the most major thing, is spreading awareness to the younger kids. As Meyru was saying, it's the young kids who go out and who play, or who are told to go out and find these things for 3 years' income if they can find that one 500-pound bomb, and to gamble with their lives by doing this. And here's a billboard, as you can see, and right down here is a logo. That's the Renew logo, and there's the sign that's showing don't play with bombs, don't think about playing with bombs. It's kind of like how all of our lives we're told don't play with fire. It's the same thing for them. It's the equivalent. And we also really support victim assistance, so we can make and create, so we can give prosthetic legs to people who lose limbs and whatnot through the Unexploded Ordnances. And it doesn't actually cost a lot for us to be able to for us to be able to have a prosthetic leg built. It costs something like, what, $100 or so for us to do that?
I believe
$200 for us to do that. And we also have the goal of, right now there's 600 first responders in Vietnam who, when an incident does occur, they are on scene and there to help neutralize the effects.
So the developmental branch of Project Renew works to provide victims of UXOs low-cost and sustainable ways of making income. Like this man, many UXOs can cause injuries that can restrict or prevent the breadwinners or providers of families with a way to make their income. Many of the victims come from poverty-stricken and farming families, so this man lost his ability to farm in this explosion, and Project Renew gave him an option of growing mushrooms in a much smaller area, so it's much more manageable for him to make an income and provide for his family. They also have provided farming families with livestock such as cows and pigs and water buffalo. So our last slide is about what can you do. We, as well as raising awareness, we work to raise money to send over to Vietnam to help them have the money to clear UXOs and do other things. A few years ago, we raised enough money, I think $2,000, to build a house for a victim of UXO explosion. And we have started a Donate a Dollar campaign at BOHS. We're trying to get everyone in our school, including faculty members and students, to donate $1, and hopefully we'll raise enough money to build another home. And we, right now, as of now, are the only branch of Students for Renew. So we're trying to, the reason we're going to other schools and doing other presentations and things, I think we're going to an elementary school next, is to try to get other branches to, again, in other schools and students to be inspired to start their own branches and get the word out there and maybe have their own Donate a Dollar campaign or something like that. So, we're definitely, as the next generation, it's definitely our job to do what we can to raise money and help them and help remove UXOs.